It's something that you know when you're born to do. um, I was in primary school, and one of my friends' dad was a painter, was an artist, and I love his paintings. With very simple, but I really love it. So he came to school, and he actually gave for free classes to the students, and I got there to get in those classes. And I love it, and that's how I really got into it. One time he bought a painting, and I we never forget this. I was coming from school at noon for lunch to the house, and when I got to the house, I walked through the living room, and when I looked to my left, I saw there was a big painting of a landscape, and I just, my heart stopped in front of that painting, and that moment I said, this is what I want to one day do. This is just the best thing I ever seen. I guess it has changed through times too. Now, anything that changed reality in any way, to me, is an act of creation. So, and I would say art. Art is creation. It's also something that has evolved to this. Um, so, in my case, I always say that I try to find an object, and I try to mate it with another object, so it would change the original meaning of what it is. Um, so I used to do, when I was in Cuba, I used to make things with other objects to change the original meaning. Like I used to do, for example, something, an object of security made of a very weak or a very fragile element, and it would change how secure it was. So now I still do the same. It just changed the objects and with what I made it. And when I came to US, um, the target changed, because before in Cuba was very political. Cuba is a very political nation with the circumstances over there. So everything was like criticizing the system. And that was mostly every artist, that's what they do there. So when I got here, um, you can really say whatever and not have consequences, because there's freedom here, and you can do that in the United States, which is wonderful, and which I love. But then I started learning about all more like global problems or global circumstances that needed, in this case, my art's attention, or it moved me. And so it was more about finding objects that would show interconnectedness between all of us together, and between nature, because I thought that was the problem, that man nature was kind of getting far from each other, in an idea, because we can't really get away from nature, but it's in our mind. And also the division of races or religions, or things that kind of are still problems in the world. But when you were living in an island where everything is controlled, you don't really, you just think about what are you going to eat today. So but anyway, so that's how I got to the basket weave, because it's an organic or a natural element that I can use to show interconnectedness between all of us as one, how every thread is important to create a whole. And that's how I got to it. But before, I did also some paintings with feathers, white feathers, and leaf, making other objects with that. But now it's just mostly basket weave, because it creates a signature, which is also important, I think, to sell, to make a living, and create more art, which is why I'm here, to create art, and it helps me, and I love it too. It's very cool. I was just then thinking, what object could I use that would show interconnectedness, and it's something that you have to weave together, so every thread is important to the whole. So that's why I did some with feathers, some with leaf, like they're little organic objects that you can use. And then the basket weave, which I know that I have seen before that some baskets, which is made of basket weaving, you know, and all the little animals or whatever, but it never came to my mind till I had the thought, what can I use to accomplish this? And then I was just looking around because that's what we had to feed us with, was around us. And then I saw one time, I don't remember what it was, but then I was like, yeah, I could use this. And then the problem was how would paint huge paintings, because using that technique, which was what it took me a while to develop, so I could do a lot in less time. Otherwise, it would take years to do a single painting. And also getting even beyond that, because it's like an organic, like natural element. Then I was in Cuba one day, and I was painting there. And one of my trips back to Cuba, I used to take stretchers and canvas, and I used to paint there too. And then just I realized that everybody in the small village where I was born did everything by the waning moon. When the moon was waning, they would plant the seeds, and they would just go through their life according to the lunar cycles, because their harvesting was the most important thing, and they don't have irrigation system or anything, so they really needed the nature's rains and things. So, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use that in my paintings too. So I started painting when the moon is waning. Like, I plant an idea, and then I paint to a few months, and then I finish later another waning moon, like I harvested. And it just give more connection to nature and the universe as a whole too. But it's another thing that you just grab here and there to incorporate to your art. Yeah.
There's one more thing that makes you and your expression so individual and so specific. Because when I was reading all these details about you, I was like, it's like every single aspect of the media, of the technique, of the size, of the moment when you start the process has some type of symbolism, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your creative moments. Like, how do you start a creative day? What is it like to be you at the studio one day when you need to start creating an idea?
Well, the ideas happens anywhere, anytime, because I'm always thinking and looking ways of that I can incorporate. And so while I paint, I listened to books and YouTube videos all the time and things, and it just grabbing phrases that would trigger something in my mind, and I will write it down, and then I will think, this is for one painting, or this is something big for a series of paintings. And then start the process of, how do I make that idea into a visual image? And so it's another movement, searching, a movement of thoughts and searching some, how do I express this best? How do I represent what I want to say with image? So yeah.
So it seems like you take inspiration from anything around you. It can be a word,
Yes.
it can be an image, it can be nature, it can be a moment, which is
It can
what
be
we
a
want.
share, it can be
Yeah,
anything.
and we want the patients to understand that
Yeah.
artists, we look around and we get inspired for simple little things that maybe someone takes for granted, but for us it's like
Yeah.
the beginning of an idea, and
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
what you're describing. So
Yeah.
there are days where we have great ideas, correct? And
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
days where ideas just do not work. How do you come up
Yeah.
with that? How do you deal with that concept of, hey, you know what, I had a great idea and this is just not working?
Well, I guess I get goosebumps, and I know when they are really meaningful, or when it feels good, when it feels easy, when when I know that it's very arbitrary, so it will impact the viewer. And because we usually don't make anything new, only few people are able to make something that have never been made. We use what that's like evolution of humans, you know. We use what already everybody, all the people created, and we just see in a different way, and we just make a little one step more complicated or in the evolution of life. So that's how I know in that I try to find things that I can see it differently. And then that's how you create something new, but based in something been done. Right now, I would say something that what I value the most is something that is funny and it's impacting. You know, it's joyful, but at the same time, like wow, he came with that, how happened, because it's that magic of incorporating things that, and I like it when it's a little funny. I was reading a book of the Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wallace. I think that's the name of the author. And I was like, because it's something really important. I was a lot of good knowledge that I acquired with that book of the need of being wealthy so you can really help other people. You know, because you have to make yourself and gain a lot so you can really help. Otherwise, you cannot do it. And I was doing the Buddha paintings, which was a little more about China and a little political. But then I was like, wow, I could, because this Buddha, the happy Buddhas, are about wealth and happiness and joy. So I switched the whole painting. And so that's how I said, well, I can change this. I can do a Buddha super happy, which is about wealth, about the right to be rich as an inherited right that we all have to decide what to do with our life and what to think and how to create our life. And then I changed. So I did this painting, which he is grabbing a bag of money. Yeah. And then I have the word right in there, like it's a right that everybody has. So I added in there. And then the koi fish. So I did a frame with koi fish, which is a symbol of wealth too.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's an amazing piece. That's a new piece, correct?
That's new, yeah.
Oh, I just finished it. That is amazing. I love it. Yeah, this is perfect. This is a perfect example of how a creative mind takes emotions, words, moments, and translates that into a visual piece or something that has meaning and that sends a message.
One here, the one below, is a dandelion blowing the word love and the 4 letters of the word love. And the idea came to me because I wanted to emphasize on how important it is to wish something. Because when you wish something, you put energy into it and you kind of attract it to you. So I was looking and said, well, how do I express something that we wish? And so the dandelion is a little thing from nation that you grab and you think of a wish and then you blow and you let it go, thinking that it's going to come back to you, right? So I was like, well, I want to wish love. And so then I got together the word with the dandelion, and that's how it came to life. That's how the idea came to life, you see. Because I wanted to make like a super happy painting. So it's like a wishing party, wishing joy, wishing fun. And then I did the maracas down the line.
These are great examples.
This one is the superheroes one, Super Dream, which it was a series that I was doing that I finished. It's called Collective Dreams. And the original idea was about same thing, how to achieve the dream of our life, the things we want. And I did a lot of paintings related to that, but this one specifically, I wanted to focus on the power of the dream. And so I was like, well, superheroes are superpowers. So I just want to make all of them dreaming together to achieve a super dream or something that you really want in your life is important. That's why it's called super dream. You can see the letters super
Yes.
dream underneath. Yeah. And
Wow.
this one took a lot of time to complete because they have a lot of,
Oh,
you can even see from here.
look at the details. It is just amazing. And the size, you know, you normally work on very large canvas.
Yeah, this is 16 feet. I like to work with bananas.
Oh, I see a
This
Picasso
one,
there. Oh, that one.
yeah, this is a banana cathedral. I think it's not an accident, but it's not a super plan either. It's just doing some paintings. I kind of do it because I it's a commission and I had to do it, or some things I believe I'm gonna sell quick, and then I do those. So I keep my long vision of the plan, doing the work that I consider very serious. Um, so I do have a plan, but mostly it's like I would say 2 years ahead.
Yeah. Do you keep sketchbooks everywhere? And
Yes.
are those the place? Because
Well,
one of the
one
things
at
that
a
I do
time.
is,
I have only one sketch at a time. Then I finish and I use another one.
but you do have many,
Yeah.
like throughout the years.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because I encourage the patients to sketch, to have the sketchbook as something where they can
Yeah.
go if they're taking a
Listen.
walk and they see something nice, then come back and maybe take a picture with your cell phone and then go ahead and sketch. If you see something somewhere or you hear something, then go ahead and sketch it, because that can be part of a future piece of art. Not necessarily
Yeah.
that by itself it will be, but sketching, I think, is so awesome.
This it's one that I just finished, and
Okay.
you see it's all beat up because I had it for so long, but it has um all the things like a diary and drawings. You see, those are ideas which I never did, but I did all the drawings of the things.
I see.
And actually, this is when my other kid was born. You see, so this one I did was an eagle.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
an
like
amazing sketchbook. I mean, I
so
like
the
it because
moons, all the moons when I started painting, when I finished. You see the drawings. So it's like a diary with the drawing. That when I started doing the cathedrals, you see, there's another cathedral there. So yeah, I love to do that because you kind of come closer to more and more ideas. That's the dandelion you see with the maracas,
mm-hmm.
and that's how um, you kind of refine the idea to what exactly is that you want. I first have to resonate with you. It's something that you really want to express because everybody's different. And once you know what you want to say, what you want to express, what you want to show people, or whatever it is, you just start thinking ways of how to make it uh, real, how to make it as either with letters or with an image or with a song, I don't know. But just experimenting and thinking of many things and then choosing one which is the most strong one that will give the idea. That's what I do
Okay.
all the time. I had to feel good within me, and then it's really fun because you don't have any clue of how many things are in your mind that are so valuable, and they just come out, and you say, "Wow, this is so evident," and it's not that complicated, and it works perfect. And so that's it. Feel it, and then know what it is, and you know it when you feel it, when it feels good, and write it down and give different choices, apply different choices of different things how to do, and then choose the best one.